Hello. Hello and welcome. Everybody can take a seat. We're going to get started. Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine. I am the Commissioner for Philadelphia Parks and Recreation. I am so incredibly excited to be here today for this important announcement. It is a great day for Philadelphia and a great day for trees here in Philly. First, a little bit of background. In 2009, the city announced its ambitious GreenWorks citywide sustainability plan, which included an incredibly ambitious target for increasing the city's urban tree canopy. More trees would bring a multitude of benefits to our city, everything from decreased air pollution, stormwater runoff, and extreme heat, to increased property values, carbon sequestration, and improved quality of life. Mike DeBerardinis, who was in this role then, knew that the study showed we could not be successful in increasing the tree canopy by merely planting street trees and trees in public spaces. He wanted to try an alternative plan to plant trees, one that would also engage citizens in a meaningful way. He wanted to give trees away, thousands and thousands of free trees, so that residents could plant them in their yards. We knew we couldn't spend city funds giving away free trees, and so we enlisted the help of a corporate sponsor, and the TreePhilly program was born. Since its launch in 2012, TreePhilly has distributed over 21,000 trees to residents to plant at their homes. And through this program, we have created an army of tree lovers who have helped to rebrand Philly as the city of arborly love. And at the same time, we've created a program that is a national model for sustainability and citizen engagement. A few years ago, I was speaking at an event in New York, and a friendly-looking guy came up to me afterwards. He said he was from TD Bank, and he asked me what TD was doing with us here in Philadelphia. I replied that I wasn't quite sure. And he said, well, we're going to change that. That guy was Joe Doolin, head of environmental affairs at TD Bank. Less than a year later, TD Bank signed on as the sponsor of our TreePhilly program. TD Bank has been an absolutely incredible partner. I've raised funds from corporations for most of my career, and I've never experienced this level of support and leadership as I have with TD. They have pushed us to think bigger, to expand our reach, to deepen our impact, and to share our story with the world. TD's push, however, comes with renewed and unprecedented support. I'm so excited to announce today a commitment from TD Bank of $1.125 million towards our TreePhilly program over the next 3 years. This extraordinary commitment will enable us to expand the scope and reach of our TreePhilly program through 2021. It will allow us to plant over 25,000 new trees and shrubs in Philadelphia, and will include support for our strategic planning efforts, for targeted street plantings, for an expansion of our Tree Keepers workforce development program, along with new facilities at Greenland Nursery, where most of our plants beside me, have been grown by using seeds collected throughout our very own park system. We are also excited to announce a new model for our yard tree giveaway program, which will be focused more on providing support for our community partners to host giveaways in their own local communities. Partners like Gabriela Payaz from Esperanza and Kim Washington from Frankfurt CDC, who you'll be hearing from soon, and all of the other community partners who are here in this room. Please raise your hand. Thank you guys so much. These folks have become incredible advocates for trees in their own communities and have been personally responsible for distributing hundreds of trees to residents in some of the communities that need them most. I want to thank Mike Carbone, Regional President of TD Bank, for his extraordinary support. I want to thank Joe Doolin for his enthusiasm, his unabashed love for Philadelphia, this from a guy from Long Island, and his steadfast belief in our efforts. I want to thank Mayor Kenny for his inspiring leadership. I want to thank Mike DeBerardinis for creating this vision for this work and continuing to push us forward. I want to thank Jamie Gauthier and the Fairmount Park Conservancy and their incredible staff for being partners on this program from day one, and for providing marketing, engagement, and fundraising support that has been so critical to this program's success. I want to thank Cindy Dunn, Secretary for the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources for the Commonwealth, for her department's support and expertise of everything we do at Parks and Recreation, including our urban forestry work. Lastly, I want to thank our staff at Parks and Recreation, our Deputy Commissioner Sue Buck and Aparna Palantino, our Director of Urban Forestry and Queen of Trees Lori Hayes, Tom Whitner, everyone on our natural lands team, of course Max and Don from Greenland Nursery, our Power Corps and Tree Keepers folks, thank you guys so much. But most especially our tree girl, Erica Smith-Finchman, who deserves all the credit there is for giving birth to this program. She knows a little bit about giving birth these days, and turning it into a national model. Erica is a true public servant who cares so deeply about trees, our urban forest, and the people who live in it. I thank her for her tireless work from the bottom of my heart. Please join me in welcoming our mayor and a great tree champion himself, Jim Kenney.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to be joining you all for this wonderful announcement. The City of Philadelphia recognizes the crucial role urban forests play in keeping our residents healthy. Trees clean our air, making it easier for people to breathe. They shade our streets and houses, reducing summer heat, and they slow down the flow of water during storms, keeping our rivers clean. A properly planted and well-cared-for urban forest improves public safety, and I'm grateful to TD Bank for investing in our urban forest. This investment will have a ripple effect, improving the quality of life for all Philadelphia residents. I also want to thank our Commissioner, Catherine Ott-Lovell, Managing Director Mike DiBerdinis, Jamie Gauthier, all of whom have been strong supporters of TreePhilly. Through this expanded effort, TreePhilly will join forces with a broad network of partners, from the Office of Sustainability to small neighborhood-based organizations all over the city, to advocate for tree planting and care. Together, we will make Philadelphia a greener and healthier city. Recognizing that doing the, these are real? They're real? They look too perfect. Realizing that the quality of life in all of our neighborhoods is important, and we struggle with many issues throughout our city that we're trying to deal with, from education to opioids to all kinds of issues. But having this environmental improvement really makes our job easier, makes our neighborhoods feel better, look better, and makes people understand that we believe that they deserve the equity of every neighborhood. So we're going to get these planted ASAP. So thanks again for everyone involved.
Thank you, Mayor. And next, our Managing Director, Mike DiBerdinis.
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. It's really wonderful to be here with all of you today to celebrate this tremendous grant from TD Bank. First of all, I want to thank the mayor for his consistent support and leadership across the board, but mostly what really makes, I think, this administration different is his commitment to equity and his commitment to serving all Philadelphia's neighborhoods across the city, when not one or the other lifts up, but all boats rise. And I'm really proud to be part of this administration. So Catherine, thank you for your fabulous leadership of the department. I know I did this job for about 15 years, and I know the stresses and strains and the joy of this work. And I want to congratulate you on your fabulous leadership, and to bow to the best civil servants in all of Philadelphia, the staff of the Department of Parks and Recreation. Don't tell anybody I said that, though. Please hold that back. Keep that a bit secret to the other departments that report into my office. Also want to acknowledge Cindy Dunn, who came down from Harrisburg to be with us today. She has a job that I held when Ed Rendell was governor, and that's the Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, and they've been a tremendous supporter and will continue to be of greening the city of Philadelphia. Cindy, thank you for your ongoing support. And just the guys from TD Bank, thank you. You know how important this is. You get the connection of this investment to a healthy citizenry, a healthy city, and one that's competitive and ready to do business in the region, in the country, and around the world. Thank you very much. Just real quick, engaging citizens in the work of government is not an easy thing. To have an effective and supportive network of citizens and nonprofits and businesses across the city that get what we're trying to do and then link up with us in this process. And having all the citizen support, thousands, tens of thousands of trees that have been planted and will be planted, connected to the government, connected to a corporation and a business in our city, is the way cities can grow. It's a way we can become healthy. It's a hedge against climate change, and it keeps us on a road to sustainability. So all these values are important for us as a city and point us towards the future, and a bright and sustainable city of Philadelphia is one that will be competitive and one that will bring equity to all our citizens. So I'm really happy to be here to be part of this, and TD Bank, thank you again.
We literally couldn't do this work without the support of an absolutely wonderful nonprofit organization in the Fairmount Park Conservancy. They have an amazing staff and a really extraordinary leader who's an absolute joy to work with each and every day. Please join me in welcoming Jamie Gauthier, Executive Director of Fairmount Park.
Good afternoon. I am so excited to be here with you to celebrate this wonderful expansion of TreePhilly. The Fairmount Park Conservancy is a nonprofit champion of Philly's parks. We believe in the power of parks to create positive change by connecting neighbors, nurturing health and wellness, and creating opportunities for exploration and play in nature. The TreePhilly program is one of the best examples of this positive change, and it's been an honor to see it not only increase the amount of green throughout our neighborhoods, but improve quality of life for residents. With our partners, Philadelphia Parks and Recreation and TD Bank, we are proud to be a part of Philadelphia's long-standing commitment to greening and environmental equity through TreePhilly. I want to say a few words about our corporate partner, TD Bank. TreePhilly and our city's tree canopy would not be where it is today without the support of TD. They are one of the most incredible and engaged corporate partners we've had the pleasure of working with. And in fact, it was TD who came to us and to Philadelphia Parks and Recreation and encouraged us to go big with this expansion, and that's exactly what we did. So thank you to Michael Carbone, Joe Doolin, and everyone at TD Bank for being such tremendous park champions. Today is an example of how powerful public and private partnerships can be. When we're all working together, we can get serious work done to bring investment to our parks and to our neighborhoods. I'd also like to thank Mayor Kinney, Managing Director Mike DeBerdinez, Commissioner at Lovell, and her dedicated team at Parks and Recreation, along with TreePhilly's Program Manager, Erica Smith, and Cindy Dunn at the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And I'd like to thank the members of the Fairmount Park Conservancy team who were instrumental in this expansion, including Lindsay Walker, Meg Holscher, Luke Rhodes, and our former teammate Liz Moselle. We're so grateful to work with such supportive and enthusiastic partners to make Philadelphia and its park system one of the best in the world. Thank you so much.
Okay, next we have, please, big round of applause for the Regional President of TD Bank, Mike Carbone.
So, good afternoon and welcome, everyone. And it's truly an honor for me to be up here representing our company. And I want to begin by gratefully acknowledging Catherine. Catherine, it wasn't an accident that Joe found you. He was stalking you for a year. And he finally found you, and your support of us being part of this means a lot to us as an organization. And Joe, great job to you for all the work that you put forward here. I also want to extend our appreciation to Erica Smith-Fitchman of TreePhilly and Jamie Gauthier, who I just had the pleasure of meeting, and sitting next to the Executive Director of the Fairmount Park Conservatory. And this major expansion of TreePhilly would not have been possible without the strong support of the Honorable Mayor Jim Kenney and the Managing Director Mike DeBerdinez. So your help in making this happen, your leadership, is why these things can go forward and make Philadelphia the example of what all the United States major cities should be in their commitment to the environment. We're honored at TD to be an ally to those who strive to improve the quality for individuals and communities. By partnering with the FPC and the PPR and TreePhilly, we can help to make a significant impact in improving the quality of the environment and in the health and well-being of all Philadelphians. all Philadelphians. As part of our mission to drive positive change through working collaborations across the diverse communities we serve, TD launched the Ready Commitment, an innovative platform that focuses on maximizing our impact in 4 key areas. TD is targeting $1 billion by 2030 in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals for 2030, and those 4 areas are: increase access to financial security, elevate the quality of our environment, create opportunities for everyone to participate and be included in their communities, and support more equitable health outcomes for all. We think these initiatives are the 4 most important initiatives that we face as a country, as cities, as towns across America, and we want to be a big part of it in a big way. When I think of TreePhilly and what it provides, it's a perfect opportunity to fulfill our commitment to build a more vibrant planet and elevate the quality of our environment. But our urban forestry efforts extend far beyond the city of brotherly love. Since 2010, we've planted over 300,000 native trees and shrubs in communities across the entire U.S., Canada, and the UK. And this fall, thousands of volunteers will join to further enhance over 100 green spaces for everyone to enjoy. TD has also pledged to plant an incremental 1 million trees by 2030, and TreePhilly plays a big role in getting us there. And I mentioned volunteers, and when we do this in our company, we never have a problem getting volunteers. In fact, we have to turn people away because everybody wants to be a part of it. And when I show up at these events and I'm in a t-shirt and jeans and work boots, people say, "Hey, aren't you here just to give a speech?" And I say, well, I can give a speech in a t-shirt and jeans and a work boot, and then I can get a shovel and start planting trees like everyone else. And we believe that through the core of our organization, it's part of who we are as a model, a brand, and a culture that everyone buys in. And it starts at the very top of our organization. It goes through and through to every employee. So as you think about that, that's what makes us a strong company, and that's why we'll be around a long time also. To further advance our commitment to a vibrant planet, TD has also targeted $100 billion to accelerate in the transition to low-carbon economy. We made a lot of strides in this direction already, and I want to share a couple with you. We were the first North American bank to become carbon and neutral and paper neutral. 212 of our U.S. stores are LEED certified, and 84% achieving gold certification or higher. We have met 100% renewable electricity commitment for our ATMs across North America, including all 2,221 in the United States. On-site solar panels help power more than 130 of our TD Bank stores, producing enough clean energy to power nearly 840 U.S. homes every year. The Chinese proverb tells us the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is now. Let's get started in generating much needed shade and reducing carbon dioxide and help our friends throughout Philadelphia benefit, breathe easier, and live better. Again, it's an honor for us and our team. I appreciate our team being here today. We have a great team. We're partnering with great teams. It's a great when public and private partnership can come together, make an impact, make a difference, stand side by side, and do something that's really good for everybody. Thanks again. Have a great day.
So as Mike mentioned, Mike DeBernese mentioned, Cindy Dunn, who's the Secretary for the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, came all the way in from Harrisburg today. We love it when Cindy's here, not just because we love to see her, but it means resources are usually following. So, you know, DCNR is just an absolutely extraordinary partner to Parks and Recreation and supports us in so much of our work, and we're thrilled to have them as a partner on all of our tree investments as well. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Dunn.
Thank you, Catherine. I was very excited to be here today. When I got the invitation, I cleared the schedule and jumped on the train. This is just too important to miss. You know, congratulations to all in this room who have worked so long and so hard on all the green works in Philadelphia. I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of friends from over the years. Congratulations, Mayor. Congratulations, TD Bank, and to all my friends in the city of Philadelphia and the nonprofit partners, the Fairmount Park Conservancy and Pennsylvania Horticultural Society. The great work you do every day is such a model across the state. We talk about you when we go to other communities. We talk about this Philadelphia model as one of the greenest cities, the greenest city in Pennsylvania, and the practices and the deep practices you model here that we take across the communities of the state. I want to retrace where this partnership began when Michael DeBerdinis was in my shoes, the Secretary of the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. And he recognized the asset in that staff of trained foresters and recreation people and a grants program that was created by the citizens of Pennsylvania in 1993 to serve all citizens of Pennsylvania. And he quickly recognized that the value of trees in Philadelphia and the urban environment were so critical. So he launched this program called TreeVitalize, which is a true partnership program. And that program continues to this day. It continues bringing value to the communities of Pennsylvania. Now, anybody that knows Michael knows he sets a high goal. So he wanted 1 million trees by like the year after he launched it, okay? So I'm here to report in on the progress of that goal. And everyone else will think this is impressive. I'm not sure what Michael will think. We're up to 500,000 large trees. I mean, I'm emphasizing these aren't the pencil stick trees, large trees in communities across Pennsylvania. 550 communities in Pennsylvania. And so if you do the math on who does that serves 6.9 million people. Pennsylvania has 13 million people. Our charge by Constitution is to serve all Pennsylvanians. So we're halfway there. So Michael, if you look at it in terms of people we've served, your goal and your vision is halfway there. We're at 500,000 trees just 15 years later, not the first year, unfortunately, but we're still working on it. Governor Tom Wolf challenges his cabinet, including me. How do we bring public service to all Pennsylvanians? How do we deliver our mission to all 13 million Pennsylvanians, which is the true, as the mayor said, is the true role of government. And there's nothing more dramatic and more effective than bringing green to all Pennsylvanians. Christine Knapp at a meeting recently here in Philly told me about some statistics. The difference in ground temperature in a neighborhood with trees and a neighborhood without trees is 22 degrees. And when you think about what 22 degrees means on a hot, sweltering summer day, which are going to get hotter and hotter with climate change, that has implications for crime, for quality of life, for health and safety. So the value of trees goes way beyond the things we always talk about, like property values and aesthetics and habitat. It goes deep into societal's biggest needs, and that ability and that value is going to get stronger and stronger in a changing climate. That ability to attenuate stormwater, to sequester carbon, to cool streets and reduce electric bills and reduce carbon usage. And there's a National Climate Assessment, if you get online and look at it, it talks about the forecast for the northeastern United States in terms of climate change. And one of the biggest impacts we'll have in the Northeast is an increased number of heavy rain events, these deluge rain events. And it names 50 cities in the Northeast that are going to be hit the hardest, and Philadelphia is number 3, with a 200% increase in heavy rain events. So the total amount of rain might not be that much greater, but the way it falls is going to be way greater. So the value of trees in this changing climate is just going to get greater and greater and greater. And besides the funding that Catherine alluded to, which surely is going to follow, we were able to make a small investment this year. Our grant round had already was well underway, but we're very interested. We'll be a long-term partner in future grant rounds, and we're putting a partnership grant out of $20,000 today just to get us in and get us started. But I think more than that, what we can bring to the table are these trained professionals that Michael got to know in Harrisburg that spend their careers in forest issues. And we like to refer to forests as working forests in Pennsylvania. And just think about Pennsylvania's vast forests. This is Penn's Woods. We've got 60% forest land cover across the state. And these working forests work for all the values we've already talked about, but in addition, some economic values. But we can bring that technology of a working tree into Philadelphia, the full cycle tree, from the time it's planted to the time it's cut down, and bring value to that wood product that's on the street and able to be used for other purposes, like artisan woods, like, like make biochar to actually improve the soil for more trees. So full cycle working trees, we can really help with that. We can certainly help with the stewardship and management and technology. And like always, with Philadelphia leading the way in all things green, we'll take what we learned in partnership with you and take it across Pennsylvania so we can continue to serve all 13 million Pennsylvanians effectively, leading with green. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Cindy mentioned her, and I want to also acknowledge Christine Knapp from our Office of Sustainability, who is an amazing leader of all things sustainability here in Philly, but a really wonderful partner to us at Parks and Recreation, and certainly on TreePhilly, but so many other initiatives, and we're so grateful for Christine's partnership and her leadership, so thank you so much. Before we bring up our last two and most important speakers of the day, I also want to acknowledge a couple of other unsung heroes. We have had very, very great success with our TreePhilly program. It's meant to educate as well as engage citizens, but we've done that because we've had this wonderful marketing campaigns over the past 5 years. Masterminds is a local agency. Jen Fink is here, and their team has done, I don't even know how to quantify how much pro bono work Masterminds has done for the TreePhilly program. It is, my guess, in the hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point. We really should have calculated that. It's probably a tax write-off for you guys somewhere. But anyway, we're so grateful to Masterminds for what you guys have done, for making us look so good, and for helping us engage folks. So thank you so much, and thank you. And there's a gal taking pictures over here. Sabina Louise Pierce is a nationally renowned photographer who has done some really wonderful pro bono work with us in helping us build a profile of some of our arborists who don't at all want their profile built, which is a real challenge for a photographer, but a really unique opportunity for us. So thank you so much to Sabina. Last but not least, we have two community partners who are going to speak on behalf of their communities and the impact of this program in their communities. When we started this program, Mike started this program, it was really about giving trees away to individuals, right? And I think very early into the program, Erica and her team realized that if we were really going to, make an impact on communities, we had to get local, hyper-local community organizations, community leaders engaged and involved in giving away the trees themselves. And so we started this community tree giveaway program with grants to local organizations, and we've had two great partners who've worked with us on that, and I want to invite them up to speak. First, we have Gabriela Paez from Nuevo Esperanza in the Hunting Park neighborhood. Please join us. Gabriela, thank you.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Great. I have to second that. Thank you so much for the team that worked on the posters. We look great. Thank you so much. So as mentioned, my name is Gabriela. I work at Esperanza, a nonprofit in North Philadelphia, and we have been working for the past 6 years to revitalize the neighborhood of Hunting Park. And we are doing that through many things, including education, and of course, the environment is one of our main concerns. So back when we started the neighborhood plan, our canopy coverage was only 3.9%. One of the lowest in the city of Philadelphia, and probably also the reason why we actually have been one of the neighborhoods identified to be one of the hottest in the entire city. So in our neighborhood, it could be up to 20 degrees hotter than in other neighborhoods, which is a lot. So we have seen how, again, the lack of canopy coverage has affected the neighborhood. And take into account that we have a huge park. So that 3.9%, I'm pretty sure is mostly there. So now we have been working since 2014 with TreePhilly to give away yard trees. So we have given away a total of 700 yard trees, and we are giving away 150 more now in the fall. So I'm pretty sure that that number is not the same now, and it's all thanks to this partnership. We work hard, again, to make the community of Hunting Park a cleaner, safer, more beautiful, and healthier one. And I love to say that trees have superpowers, Because if you plant one tree, you're making a block and a neighborhood look nicer. You're making it look cleaner, because believe it or not, the community engagement that comes when a tree is planted, and that's what we have experienced, brings everyone together to take care of that tree and care more for their blocks. Because again, the look of the block and everything changes. It also, as it has been mentioned before, makes it safer, and of course, just the health benefits that trees bring. We all know that. Actually, I'm a biologist as well. So again, a lot of our neighbors suffer from asthma and other diseases that are very directly linked to the quality of air. So again, we're working hard to do this. And through TreePhilly also, we were able to build this great partnership with PHS, and we were able to host the first ever bilingual tree tenders training. So now we have 35 trained residents. We planted 15 trees in the spring. We're planting 39 more street trees in the fall. And our neighbors again are like, when are we going to get trees again? When is the next to giveaway? So it's just the excitement that also the program has brought. And I think that is very special that TreePhilly and all the partners are doing this specifically with people who are working in the neighborhood, because then you know that the neighbors are directly engaged with what's being done. So again, I just love the fact that we have been able to do so much in these past couple of years. I already said that. I'm so bad at following scripts. So again, today we have this great partnership, and I love to say that Philadelphia, the way that we all work and those partnerships are, I don't know if unique, but very special. So we have city government working with the nonprofits and everyone else to make sure that our communities are being served. And we're now also working with sustainability to make sure that we target the problem of heat equity. And again, our neighborhood is not only one of the hottest in the city, it's also one of the most heat vulnerable neighborhoods in the city because of low income individuals who are not able to sometimes get, let's say, an air conditioner to cope with heat. So how can we do that? How can we help from the environmental standpoint, and also just take a look at how our neighbors are dealing with that. So again, I want to thank TreePhilly, TD Bank, everyone who's making this happen, our leadership that's supporting this, and all the nonprofits also that are backing this work. And again, I look forward to working with our community to plant many more trees. Thank you.
Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Gabriella mentioned PHS, the Horticultural Society. Glenn Abrams is here. I want to acknowledge him and thank him and all of PHS for their wonderful leadership in this movement over the years and for their continued partnership. Thank you for being here. Glenn, thank you. So next up, please join me in welcoming Kim Washington. Kim is with the Frankfurt CDC, and she has been doing this work a very long time with us here in TreePhilly. She actually came to our very first press conference in 2012. So thank you so much to Kim, and please welcome her.
Thank you, Commissioner. I just want to say good afternoon, Mayor Kinney, Managing Director Mike D., Fairmount Park Commission Director Michael Carbone from TD Bank, and Secretary Dune. Thank you all for having me here today. It's always an honor to be a part of this event. I'd like to first acknowledge our city administration for the progressive steps you all are taking to invest in Philadelphia's environmental sustainability. We are living in a time where it's become a common thing to turn on the news and hear about ruined cities and even the loss of human life due to natural disasters. As someone who has lived in Philadelphia my entire life, I can't say that I've always felt a sense of urgency when it came to issues around natural disasters, massive floodings, and other hurricanes and things of that nature. Not because I didn't sympathize with those who were affected, but as a Philadelphian, I just didn't have the personal experience. However, after events like Hurricane Sandy and the even more recent flash flooding here in the city of Philadelphia, and as someone who had her basement flooded and her office flooded this summer due to a recent flash flood, these things start to hit close to home. And I realize that we are not exempt from the consequences that are associated with the changing environment. Unfortunately, despite the numerous signs that seem to suggest that environmental sustainability needs to be supported at the highest forms of government, we have a federal administration who refuses to acknowledge that But I think that Philadelphia, as a city, we are being very progressive, and I think Mayor Kinney and the folks on the city level who have taken charge to make sure that Philadelphia becomes climate ready. Standing here at the podium today brings me a little sense of nostalgia. I think back 6 years ago when I stood here in this very room and participated in the launch for TreePhilly. That day is the day I say I became an official tree hugger. Not because I learned a tremendous lot about trees or I fell in love with trees that day, but because I was physically asked to take a tree, which was in a 5-gallon container, and hold it and manage to smile gracefully for a photo op with the mayor. Not only do I think back to the launch of TreePhilly, but it also makes me think about the great memories that are born out of the events that we have, the TreePhilly giveaways and the community planting days that I help organize alongside my fellow Frankfortians and co-workers and TreePhilly staff. It makes me think about the bonds that we establish as community members and the new relationships that we're able to develop with residents who came from all over the city to Frankfurt to pick up their trees. So when we think about all of the great benefits that come out of the TreePhilly program, also understand that the TreePhilly program not only gives residents the opportunity to participate in making Philadelphia environmentally sustainable, but the environment in which these events happen also serve as a vehicle for community engagement and dialogue. And as someone who has worked in community engagement and development for the last 9 years, it's something that I really appreciate about TreePhilly. With that being said, if you're someone who cares about the environment that we live in, or if you're someone who's just looking to actively engage your community around environmental sustainability, or if you simply just want to improve the aesthetics of your block or your neighborhood, I would encourage you all to get involved with TreePhilly. Definitely reach out to the TreePhilly staff to host a tree giveaway, sign up for a tree to plant in your yard or along your street, and encourage your neighbors to do the same. And help spread the word through social media. And most importantly, coming from someone who runs a small nonprofit organization, donate to TreePhilly. Thank you, and thanks again, Mayor Kinney.
Great job, Kim. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, last, I just want to acknowledge the great staff of TreePhilly and also our tree keepers. Can you guys stand up? Go ahead, come on. Tree keepers, TreePhilly, Power Corps, you guys too. These are the guys making the great work happen, the guys and gals every single day. They do the work quietly, but they work incredibly hard, and thank you guys, and I wanted to acknowledge you. So all right, that concludes our speaking program. Everybody get out there, go plant trees. Thank you so much. Have a great day.